everyone, how are you all doing? It's Priscilla here if it's your first time. I film about faith, purpose and marriage, and in today's video I want to share with you one of the things that I paid attention to before I said yes to my husband. This actually came to mind when I was thinking about some of the things that I took into consideration and all of that, because if you have followed me for a while, you do know that one of the things that I do not really like to do is to give a list of things that you should pay attention to, because I am a be led by the Spirit kind of person. For me, that trumps everything. But of course, the Bible says, by their fruits you shall know them. Of course, there are signs that will give you an idea who the person is. And so, looking back, I realized this is one of the things that I paid attention to. At the time, I'm not sure I had a list of things that I needed to look out for. But I do know that when I looked back, this was a key point for me. What is that? Now, let me tell you why I'm sharing this in the first place. I remember a couple of years ago, a wife shared with me that the husband was involved in something because he was being influenced by his friends. A couple of years later, as a marriage therapist, I've heard some wives share about the fact that their husbands were involved in certain things or doing certain things because they were being influenced by their friends. I'm not going to say whether or not it's true. There's most likely an iota of truth there, but the thing is, probably if they had paid attention to that before they said yes, they would have realized that that was the kind of friends that the husband or the fiancé or the guy had at the time. Okay, so stay with me, single ladies. For those of you who are now considering getting married and you are at that crossroad where you are to choose who to settle down with, one of the things that I would like to encourage you to pay attention to is his friends. Who are his friends? This is very important. There's this saying which is quite popular: show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. I believe that there is so much truth in this saying, because most often than not, we choose our friends based on our values. We associate with people who are like us. So your friends, even your friends are a reflection of who you are. So that person who is proposing marriage to you, who are his friends? If you haven't paid attention yet, which is most likely, because I feel like in our setting or in our generation, a lot of us make decisions based on our feelings. I'm in love with him, so I think I want to settle down with him. But there are certain things that you definitely should pay attention to, and his friends is one of those things. So do you know his friends? Have you ever met his friends? Have you ever heard their conversations? What kind of conversations do they engage in? And girl, there are ways to know this. So don't tell me, Priscilla, how do I know the kind of conversations they have? You should know how to know that. There are ways, because I believe that once a guy shows interest in you, you definitely will be having conversations with that person, and there are ways to know who his friends are. What kind of conversations do they have? Are those friends godly people? Are those friends people who would influence him to obey the Lord? What kind of advice are those friends likely to give him? Trust me, there is a way you can know. And even it leads me back to what I was saying. You should also be led by the Spirit of God, because I'm in no way telling you to become very very suspicious and trying to find fault, because I'm not saying his friends should be perfect. You are most likely not perfect yourself. We are all still working on ourselves by the grace of God, but you have to be discerning. There are so many things that are so glaring that I feel like so many people neglect, so many people do not pay attention to, and just get into the relationship and later it backfires, because I'm like, you should have been able to see this. Okay, so who are his friends? The kind of friends that he has, especially his closest friends, will give you an idea the kind of person that he is. The kind of friends that he has will give you an idea the kind of advice he will most likely be getting even after he gets married, because chances are those people are still going to be his friends. For me, looking back, I realized that my husband had godly friends. As I realized that his closest friends were children of God. There were people I could see fruits of the Spirit in. There were people who had very godly conversations with him, and there were people I could confidently call Christians. There were people I wasn't afraid were going to influence him negatively even after we got married. Do you understand? So this is actually very crucial, because I feel like talking to wives and looking at some of the things that I've seen, I feel like some of these things were probably there before these women got married, but they probably thought, you know what, these are his friends, he is not like that. And I'm saying this with the assumption that you understand what a friend is, because friends are people that we spend time with, people that we talk to, people that we are close to. These are people that would likely go to when we need advice. So I know one of the mistakes that some single women make is to say, oh, those are his friends, he is not like that, oh, he is different, oh, they are just his friends. Girl. Because listen, guys love their friends, and if he finds himself in a situation where he needs to talk to someone, where he needs to spend time with someone, I mean, apart from me, because you're not going to be the only friend, you're going to be his best friend. That is the ideal, but still going to have friends, right? When they are going to be talking, what are those people going to be telling him? Maybe another thing that you even want to pay attention to, maybe that is going extreme, but I do know that I've heard things like that as well. Oh, his friends do not believe that marriage should be this way, but it still boils down to what I'm talking about. What kind of conversations do they have? What are those? What are their values? Who are they, basically? These are things that you really want to look out for. Who are those people? Because those people are going to influence your husband, and you don't want to get married and now say, I want to cut him off from his friends, because that's what some people do. You knew the kind of friends he had, which actually should give you an idea who he is, and now you are like, after you get married, you can't see your friends again. You need to, your friends are influencing you in a negative way. I feel like sometimes we give ourselves unnecessary work. Okay, so look out for this before you say I do. Disclaimer: this is not the only thing that you are going to be looking out for, and this is why I still stand by you need to be led by the Spirit. There are a couple of other things that you need to pay attention to, but I felt like I should share this because this is also very, very important. Alrighty, so I hope that you have learned something from today's video. Again, this is Priscilla. If it's your first time here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.